Welcome back, everybody, for another update on construction around the Disneyland Resort. And we're starting on the monorail with these two goofballs goofing off in the monorail because we were a little bit sideways. But we're starting on the monorail because we want to do a Matterhorn update. We promised last week that we would do a Matterhorn update from the monorail. And here we are. And let's pause. First of all, in our update on Star Wars Galaxy's Edge yesterday, I said, hey, stay tuned. We got a super cool update coming, and principally it is because of some things that I noticed on the Matterhorn on this trip. Now, I'm pausing here because you can see that it's difficult to tell. Maybe we'll zoom in. What's happening on that pavement down there? It's been either stripped or, coated or something. I can't tell for sure because there was a bit of a glare. The angle is poor, and it looks differently when we come back around. But they're definitely working on the outside pavement area, and there's a lot going on there in this photo alone. But we'll continue and come back around the other side. Now let's stop here because something caught my eye. It's a lot easier to see with the naked eye than it is, through the lens sometimes. And I noticed as we were driving by. First of all, there's that section on the right that we were talking about with the whitewashed pavement. So it's hard to tell if that's just I don't think it's been broken up, per se, but it certainly, there's got to be a reason. I don't know what that is. Again, I don't know construction. I don't know anything about it. So there's probably a reason why they're doing that. It is curious. But what's more curious, if we slide to the left, and I notice those white markings, those white dotted markings that are all around, that pavement area and around the planter. Demo limits. What do you suppose that means? They're going to demo, right? They're going to demo the exterior pavement, and I'm not sure if that includes that planter or not, because the white dots include that area, it looks like to me. Are they going to demo all of that and create more open space? I'm not sure if I agree with that. I do agree in a lot of cases where they're taking out planters or something like that where it is beneficial. And this could be a parade situation. This area right here is where traffic congests quite a bit during a parade because that's a crossing point. That's where guests cross from the Matterhorn over to the other side of Fantasyland where the Mad Tea Party is. But I mean, on this one, that planter is lovely. The other planters that we've seen in Tomorrowland and in New Orleans Square, they weren't quite as robust as this one. This is a big planter, and it's got lots of really nice, foliage in there. So I would rather they didn't. I'm okay with the crowds here. I don't know for sure if that's what they're doing, but it certainly is up for speculation. We talked about this in in the previous updates about why they had extended those walls as far out as they did, and the speculation is that they're going to redo the walkways here. So what is that? Does that include digging up that planter right there? I'm hoping it doesn't. Maybe they're just going to dig up the concrete. I don't know, but it certainly does seem to me like those white dots that are, defining the demo area are inclusive of that planter. Unless those arrows indicate the opposite of what I'm thinking. And here we go. Stuff forward of those dots, not inside, let's say on the Matterhorn side of those dots. I don't know how to explain that. The eastern end of those dots? God, it's hard to say. My, logic tells me, my eyes tell me that what they're demoing is inside, not outside those dots. But I'd love to hear from you guys, Fresh Baked. If there's any, construction workers out there who understand the language of demo limits, let us know. In the meantime, let's continue. And we'll stop again. This is so much fun. We have another, it looks like they've taken down some trees, maybe? And they've been doing this sporadically throughout this area. I've noticed that they're fond of taking down trees around the Matterhorn, and I can't figure out why. And it looks like we've lost another one. There's a pile of tree there on the right, and a former tree right there on the left in that planter. Now, that would enforce or reinforce the idea that the areas that are being demoed are on the western side of those dots, where the arrow is pointing, because that looks like, they've taken down the rail. Look at that. They've taken down the rail right there. Now, I wonder if it's possible they did that just so they could take down the tree, because it would be hard to take down that tree without removing that rail, now that I think about it. So there's still that possibility. Nevertheless, there's an area that is getting worked on. Oh boy. Good luck, Matterhorn. Good luck. I hope you do well. And no water in there. Okay, let's go to Tropical Hideaway. This is the other section of exciting information, and that's not because we can see anything going on, but we can't see anything from those knotholes. It's really difficult to see. I can't get my camera over the walls, and I'm not going to make a scene or really try too hard because I don't want to expose myself. But we have some fans out there, some muffins, who are fine with sticking their camera over the wall. And God bless them, because they're not worried about losing whatever rights, whatever, what do you want to call it? Like, they're not gonna stop them. They might stop me because I'm a known blogger. But friend of the show, Jon S, provided us these photos, for which I am very grateful. Here's a shot over the wall of some equipment being assembled. I don't see any construction beginning, and there's no real visible demo there, but it's still way better than anything we could have got through the knothole. This next shot is pretty cool because it does, the fence is in the way a little bit, but you can see, if we zoom in a bit, that there's some fencing beginning to get put up there that looks like an area that might become a fence, for the viewing area where you can see the Jungle Cruise go by. And matter of fact, if we look at the next image that he captured, it's the same thing. We get a better look at that fence that I'm talking about right here. Now, that could be either a fence or a rail or just some sort of area definition that looks like that is newly constructed. That is not something that they haven't torn down yet. So there you go. There's that. That is my guess, is that is the viewing area where you can watch the Jungle Cruise. That is really cool, and I'm excited about that. So if you were here just for the exciting portions, the main exciting portions of this update, you're free to go. But don't, please, because I've got more good stuff to watch. Now, we'll just real quick stop at the Tiki Room to show you that nothing major has happened there. However, I can confirm that the Dole Whips are now available for mobile order. So there's that. Now, we got to find out where the pickup area is. But anyway, let's go to downtown Disney, where there's still, it seems like nothing is happening at Napolini. That place has been gutted for weeks now, and it feels like they've done nothing. And if you're wondering what they're doing with Naples, they built the outdoor area, and then that area out there, which used to be outdoor dining upstairs, is going to become indoor dining, air-conditioned upstairs seating. And then there is the Salt and Straw. Can't tell if that's nearly demo or not yet demoed or building. And then over here, look at that. They just recently have gutted Wetzel's Pretzels. That had stayed there for a while behind the walls, but now it has been gutted. So there's no progress to be made here. Moving over to Black Tap and Ballast Point, and I mentioned that because last time we were here, I said, hey, that's Black Tap. But that's actually both locations. Ballast Point, that's the door for Ballast Point, and then over here is the door for Black Tap. There it is. And Ian had suggested that the upstairs area that we were looking at last time is the dining for Ballast Point, not Black Tap. So there you go. I stopped at Earl's Sandwich also to give you this update. Apparently there is a word that Earl's Sandwich is hiring for this location. For an Anaheim location at an amusement park. And I don't know how many they have. Certainly they don't have one at Knott's Berry Farm. Well, there's only one amusement park in Anaheim. So Earl's Sandwich is hiring. That's good news. Really good news. For those who wanted the Earl's Sandwich to come back. And it does speak to the fact that they are nowhere near getting the hotel things started. We're a long way off. If they're saying we're going to put you back in Earl of Sandwich, we're talking years. We're years away now from any sort of meaningful progress on a hotel. Having said that, I don't expect ESPN Zone or the Rainforest Cafe to be hiring anytime soon, or for those to come back, because those require a lot more infrastructure, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It's easy, or the same thing for the AMC theaters. It's easy to put up, or easier to put up an Earl of Sandwich and take it down than it is to do those other locations. So I expect those to stay closed. And we'll close with our weekly update from the Pixar Pals parking structure next to Mickey and Friends. Actually, they have it. There's a code name for it, which I forgot. But it's weird. It's not the name that they're ever going to stick with for sure. Hey, look, they're building something. There's a giant crane picking up more of those yellow things. What are those yellow things that are all over the place on that third deck? I wonder. There's another crane in our way, which I'm going to have to try to negotiate here as I investigate this. It's kind of fun just watching them put stuff in, although it takes forever. Construction takes forever, but then it also goes quickly. Let's slide to the right, Dave. Come on, get... David. All right, I think I'm trying. Anyway, on the one hand, it looks like it takes forever, but then you come back next week and there's a whole bunch of stuff done. Or I think I just went around it. Because they dangled that thing for, I don't know, 20 minutes, it seems like. I got to go back to the left of that stinking crane that's in my way. So inconsiderate of us vloggers. What do those things do, you guys? Let me know. Fascinating. I'm just going to put that... They look temporary. I mean, those don't stay in there, do they? Kind of like, you know, how you take out the forms. All right, let's figure out what this crane's doing. Because I found those two guys in orange right there are right underneath the hook for that crane. They're going to attach something to it. And a bunch of guys are coming around saying, hey, we got to hook something into this crane to make sure we're using it. And here's the guys with a bag of something, which I'm guessing is what's going to get attached to that crane. And they got it. Crane is en route. Now, this isn't as sexy as them bringing in parts of the Millennium Falcon, I guess. But still, it's something to watch. Actually, it gets even less sexy because it turns out that's just garbage. It's scrap wood that they're going to put into that bin. Womp womp. Boy, I felt really disappointed when I got that. Anyway, let's get back to the construction. A lot of folks were saying, I said that looks really low. Guys are saying, yeah, you know, the first floor is usually higher or has more height than the second or subsequent floors to be built above it. But I'm telling you, that is tiny. Okay, a person could barely stand in that. And look at that side. Even that's higher, right next to it. Why is one side higher? You could barely fit a person in there. Let alone, I could touch the... There's no way a car could fit through that other half, right? You're not getting a car in there. I could hit the ceiling. Okay. Last week, this is that alleyway that I was suggesting last week could be a possible route for the tram to bring guests in and have them go all the way around the structure. As I reflect on this, that seems more far-fetched than I originally had intended. But I mean, you know, look, there's a car going under the bridge. Wah, wah. I mean, that path looks legit because that is where, in my opinion, we're going to be loading on this side of that, load-unload area that they're building right there. They're going to make it bigger and then load there. I feel like that's a tram, not where the trams are now, but to the right of it on that path that cart just went down. I feel like that's the tram path. Let's go take a look at what do you call? I don't know what the word is. The roundabout that they're building over here for guests to, you know, head downstairs and make their way towards the trams. Yeah, so I mean, the tram's got to go underneath that thing, one way or the other. They're going. Now, some people suggest that it's not. They're going to keep on the same route, but I don't. I disagree. I think that they're loading on this side and unloading based on the concept art. See, now those look like maybe you could get a car in there. Maybe it's just so far away that it looks smaller, but they're definitely wider than that. Certainly, right? Am I crazy? I could touch the ceiling with my hand. And that, everybody knows, is how you define whether or not something is too high or too low. If I could touch it with my hand. Not that tall. I'm only 6 foot. And we're going to end with I came back after the park, after our park visit to see, what they finished for the day, to get a long view, a panoramic view of the total park construction. They've quit for the day for the most part. There's still a couple guys working, but just 2 months ago, that was dirt. Right? 3 months ago, maybe. That was just dirt. They are cranking. Here's those guys working I was talking about. By the way, have you noticed that the ramp is not exactly straight? It's a little curvy. Right? See, like right there. That's a little curvy. Is that normal? All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Fresh Baked! We've got lots more videos for you to see, so grab a churro and check out some of our other videos and have your mind blown by how much fun we're having. We truly are the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. Fresh Baked!